John Elway having the best week ever. Peyton Manning in, Tim Tebow out. But how in the world did John Elway manage to get a good deal for Tim Tebow when everybody knows he doesn't think the guy is any good? The same way all big businesses pull this off. Telemarketing. Hi, I'd like to speak to the general manager of the house. Why are you so worried about how I got your phone number? I have a deal to offer you right now. We're just calling everybody in your neighborhood to see what the situation is under center with your franchise. That's right, that's right. No, he's very inexpensive, in fact. Buddy Nix, yes, I'm calling from Denver. The guy that played against you when we... Yeah, he just wasn't used to the cold, that's all. He just wasn't used to the cold. You gotta understand this. He throws the ball as hard as he can. Mike Brown, here you've got a team with some souls that need to be saved. Good influence. That's right. I mean, you guys need a team chaplain, right? Any team like yours needs a chaplain. Yeah, you never thought you could do better than what you had, did you? All right. If Cam used to be Tim's backup, just think of how much better Tim must be now than Cam. Maybe you can throw us a 7th round pick? Can we have Jake Delhomme? He's not there anymore. Jimmy Clausen. Jimmy Clausen. What's he doing? Tell Jimmy Clausen he can wear whatever number he wants. Okay, I know. Hey, I'm calling from the Denver Bronx. Hello? Yeah, I'd like to speak to the man with the mustache.
Quit playing on my phone!
Oops, wrong number. Look, we can't tell the fans that we just gave them away for nothing. There's no guarantee this Matt Flynn thing is gonna work out. So, how about a gift card from Starbucks? Yes, we are calling you about Tim T. Dag, not even you? How would you like your baseball cap to be the #1 seller in the NFL? Oh, we got the perfect guy to wear them right on the sideline every game, baby. Yes, Mr. Davis, please. I never thought that would happen. Really? When? That long ago? My condolences. Just wondering if you guys might be looking for a quarterback. What about a backup quarterback? What about an H-back? Well, how's that Gatorade get on the sidelines? We're not going to be running the ball very much. We're talking about 9 wins here. 9 wins. So why would we let a quarterback go to waste? Are you calling about the quarterback? What if you send us 2 tickets, a very, very low price of a big old box of athletic tape? Hey, Urban, Coach Muschamp, calling you from Denver. How's it going with the offense? May I interest you in the assistant coach of your dreams? And if you act now, you can get a matching Eric Decker. They work well together. If you act now, we'll also throw in Brian Dawkins. As is, though. You got to take that as is. So are you interested? Yeah, let me check on that. Rex Grossman? Yeah, sorry. No, we're not going to be able to do that. Well, hold on now. People didn't always think that Eli was good. Just wondering, how's Ben doing? And off the field? You don't think he could use a good influence? Kind of like a life coach. Hold on. Fellas, John Skelton, have you already forgotten what Jesus did for Kurt Warner? So how you guys feel about Colt McCoy? You know what? I can't even do Tim like that. Nah, sorry, he didn't do anything to anybody. Well, you drive a hard bargain. All right, we'll send the papers over. Got you.
I don't like Duke at all. I'm just gonna put that out there. Oh my gosh, I can't stand Duke.
I am proud to wear underneath this Duke sweater my Duke National Championship shirt. I am proud to wear the boxers underneath these pants that Coach K wore in the Guitar Hero commercial. I'm proud. I am a proud Duke fan.
Strange times here in the great state of North Carolina. NC State, Sweet 16. Duke, lost to a 15. Kind of bizarro, the sort of outcome that the Mayans would have bet on in this year. So we figured, hey, let's figure out what's going on, and we would call the biggest Duke fan we knew and the biggest NC State fan we knew.
To be honest, this team is just much better than that team I was on.
Really?
My senior year. Yeah, they have some really good young talent. Guys that we can actually have our whole starting five come back next season.
You know, a broken clock, damn it, is right twice a day. And all of a sudden, for once, you know, you wanted to have yourself in the spotlight, and somehow NC State fans want to celebrate and say something to a Duke fan. I mean, shit, you suck. Your program sucks. You absolutely suck. And you had one good year that you're going to make it to the Sweet 16. Maybe what? 1 out of 5? 1 out of 6? 1 out of 10? Okay.
UNC fans, they're Walmart guys. You know, I mean, their fans are from like San Diego, Hawaii. How are you a UNC fan? You're from there. It doesn't make sense.
Sunday when I saw him, you know, he didn't know, a lot of people didn't know that Marshall had got hurt. I just hugged him tightly, and he said, "What are you hugging me for?" Because he was with his grandparents. He said, "Duke lost in the first round. Duke lost in the first round." And I didn't hit him. I just hugged him, and I said, "I'm sorry about Marshall." And he said, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "He got a fractured wrist." He said, "You're lying." And I turned up the radio, and they were talking about it. And, you know, back to his, "We can win without Marshall. We can win without Marshall. Y'all lost in the first round. Y'all lost in the first round." Just silly little arguments that Carolina fans make.
I did actually want Duke to win the first game, like just them losing to Lehigh being a 2 seed. That's really embarrassing for the ACC. But them losing, us going further than them, I love that. It would be sweeter if it was Carolina. But you know what? For Duke, it's kind of like, you know what? Nah.
I'm not gonna somehow become a State fan and let's cheer on State, or let's hope Brandon Marshall's wrist problem gets better so we can root for the ACC. No, I'm gonna put all my time, effort, and ability to do everything I can do as a fan to make sure that NC State and Carolina lose as fast as possible to help my pain go away.
CJ was just out there ripping them. What's his last name? McCollum?
Yeah.
Oh my God, like he's nice. It was like poetry in motion.
They lost to Lehigh. They Harrison Barnes. Let's call it what it is. He's a liar. They lost to Lehigh. They Harrison Barnes. Let's call it what it is. He's a liar. He said to Coach K's face, "I'm coming to Duke." So they basically didn't recruit certain players. They put it out there, "This is our guy," and in the last minute, he completely lied. But turns out it might have been in Duke's favor because he's the most overrated player in the history of college basketball. You could look at it like that, and if that's a sacrifice that Duke made as an American, and as a proud American, as a person who lives in Fayetteville, which is home of the 82nd Airborne and Fort Bragg, North Carolina, that's a sacrifice I'm personally willing to make.
Wow. Really? That's what Duke fans do? Wow, that's crazy.
He's prepping for the Olympics.
You know what? If we get our chance, you know, we have to take care of business first with Kansas, but if we get our chance, I have no doubt in our mind that we'll be. And they beat us 3 times this year, and there's no doubt that I know we will beat them.
You going to St. Louis?
I have a game.
The problem is, and the reason I am who I am, is because I called a radio station and I said Duke is good, Coach K is good, and Carolina's not as good as they think they are. Boom. Everybody hates me. Everybody wants to tweet me. Everybody wants to know. You know, I hope if I ever am dying, that it's when Duke loses. Because that's when everybody wants to check on me. Everybody wants to know where Joe and Raleigh is. Have you cut your wrist? Do you see my wrist? Are my wrists cut? No, they are not. The problem is that we live in a society where Carolina, Dean Smith, Roy Williams has been accepted. has been accepted as the norm, has been accepted as that's the way things are going to be. This is the way it is. No one's going to interfere with it. State, the lovable loser. If they win, oh, we pet them. But Duke, Coach K have never, ever got the fucking respect they deserve. Ever. Whether it be from the Durham Herald, whether it be from the News and Observer, whether it be from any local radio station out there, they have never got the credit they deserve. And my point is that you remind me a lot of the Duke Blue Devils. That you don't need the local radio. You don't need the local newspapers to get your story out. Where do you go to get your story out? You go to ESPN. You open up your own studio to get your story out. Duke doesn't need the News and Observer, the Durham Herald, the local radio to get them out. You remind me a lot of Duke because you are the best at what you do despite the limitations and people trying to hold you back. That's my problem, is I don't understand why you're not wearing a Duke sweater like I am, because you are Duke.
Why do you think Lehigh tried to hold Duke back? Julius Hodge, appreciate it, man. You got anything to say to Joe and Riley on the way out?
Joe, Lehigh? Really? Really? Lehigh. Are you seriously high? Really? Wow.
Joe, greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I just want to be on the show when Duke wins the national championship.
Sure, no, we can definitely get you on there.